Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, COVID-19 restrictions partially lifted as confirmed cases dropped to 3. A $17 million relief package for citizens who lost their jobs due to the pandemic. And Dominica maintains its curfew as hours of business expand. The details coming up.
Avec flow, gagner l'argent, on partit l'argent avec flow. Gagner l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, every video join flow. It only gets better with flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better. Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
First up in the news, the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Dominica dropped to 3 over the weekend. The total number of positive cases have stood at 16 for 20 days now. Out of the 16 confirmed cases, 13 have so far recovered. 383 people were tested with 367 negative results. All 152 contacts identified were cleared. There are no contacts under investigation and only 10 remaining in government quarantine. So far, Dominica has recorded no deaths due to COVID-19.
You will notice that our COVID-19 status keeps improving on a daily basis. It is very encouraging and motivates us even more to continue the path that we have taken in managing our COVID-19 crisis. The majority of you, the citizens of Dominica, have been compliant with most of the measures and regulations put in place by the Ministry of Health. This is a major reason for our success so far. And for this, we applaud you and are extremely grateful. But we must remind you that this is no reason to be relaxed and lose focus. It has been a long while since we have walked in the public without a mask, been to the river or the beaches or the gym, or even walks at night. But it goes beyond this, because for many of us, our jobs, our livelihood, our daily sustenance has been affected. All of these conditions are dictated by the present COVID-19 pandemic. But your sacrifices being made are for the greater good of us all.
Based on the success so far in containing the COVID-19 pandemic, recommendations have been made to ease some of the restrictions imposed on the public.
These recommendations are based on statistics, medical science available, the compliance shown by you, the public, and the accompanying socioeconomic factors. The recommendations, in addition to the services already functioning, would include insurance companies, laundry services, bookstores, and auto mechanic shops. However, the ministry further recommends that the following restrictions remain in place and should be reviewed at the end of the second cycle, which ends on May 4th, 2020. That is, closure of bars, nightclubs, game shops, closure of hair salons, closure of manicure and pedicure shops, closure of barber shops. The Ministry of Health will continue to review the situation and be proactive in its approach.
Community testing will begin in the first week of May.
The objective of this community testing is to find out any existing or numbers of current and past symptomatic people that may be in the communities. Testing is one of the very important tools used in controlling the spread of this virus. This community testing will not be specific to communities where cases have been identified, and hence further information will be provided to you, the public, during the future briefing.
These tests will give an idea of the immune status of the communities. A ban imposed on liquor licenses as part of measures to curb the spread of COVID-19 has been lifted. But there are guidelines which must be followed if this decision is to be effectively implemented.
The lifting of the ban on liquor licenses to allow for purchase only and not consumption at points of sale. And I am already hearing people screaming from the living rooms that we lifted the ban on liquor licenses. But we're lifting the ban on liquor licenses, but you cannot go in what we call the rum shops and socialize there and drink there. If you have to buy liquor or alcoholic beverages, you have to purchase them and go to your homes with them. You will not be able to consume it at the point of purchase. So as of Monday, we are lifting the ban on liquor licenses to allow for purchase only and not consumption at point of sale.
Vendors can now operate at the Rosa and Portsmouth markets up to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday at designated areas.
And that in order to maintain safe distancing between stalls, preventing crowding of streets leading to the market, and prevention of the sale of produce on the sidewalk in the city, we have considered and will be allowing, of course, they give us a day on Monday to put systems in place so we can get it effected on Tuesday. We'll be allowing the use of space on the bayfront for vendors with pickup vans, and this will help to reduce on the litter in the city, because those of us who would have used the Rosa Market or traversed across the Rosa Market would recognize that the streets around Flow and Social Security, is very difficult to get by. And there's always a crowding taking place there. But we appreciate the fact that people are trying to make a dollar. People are trying to sell their produce, and they want to be as close to the market as possible. So we're trying to find a responsible compromise by allowing people to use the bayfront to sell their fresh produce. So in order to spread the vendors and to spread and to minimize the mass gathering that would normally take place along the streets.
Restaurants and other food places can continue to operate, but through pickup only up to 4 p.m. Effective Monday, 27th April, business hours in Dominica have been extended from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Previously, business hours were from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. The curfew remains in effect from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Monday to Friday, with a complete lockdown on weekends. Passenger buses are now allowed 2 passengers per row, but there are conditions.
The health officials are recommending that we could now have 2 passengers per row. But they have to follow the following adhere to the following guidelines: the sanitization of passengers' hands before entering the bus by the bus driver or the bus conductor, compulsory wearing of face mask or covering of nose and mouth with cloth shield, and maintaining respiratory etiquette practices at all times, and keeping windows open as much as possible. Now, while the bus drivers have a responsibility and obligation, we as users of the service also have a responsibility to our own health. So you too should walk with your hand sanitizer, with your alcohol. Make sure you have a face mask or a cloth shield, because we must protect ourselves from people, but we must also protect people from ourselves.
Dominican artists commended for their effort at preserving culture and heritage during the COVID-19 pandemic. Andrea Louis explains.
Chief Cultural Officer Raymond DeLauren says operations at the Old Mill Cultural Center have ceased since 1st April. However, staff have reached out to artists to post messages through social media. Mr. Lawrence sees the lockdown period as a good time to pass on cultural habits and practices from one generation to the next.
We have been actually trying to, by phone, by WhatsApp, trying to reach out to some of the cultural leaders, the artists, and we're also trying to encourage them to do their own, and I notice a lot of that's been happening as well, where they're doing their songs, they're doing poems, and so on their Facebook pages, and so which I find are very, very good efforts. And even the fact that people are at home, because culture is a thing of handing down to generations, from parents, from grandparents, and in a sense going back to some of the basics like backyard gardening and herbal teas and all of those things. And so you will find that the culture really is being passed on in the home situation, where families are getting even more time to spend together.
The month of May is usually observed as Dumfesta. However, this has been cancelled due to COVID-19. Mr. Lawrence says the fluidity of the pandemic makes the normal celebration of future cultural events uncertain.
Unfortunately, we had to take a decision, like so many other organizations, to cancel our Dumfesta this year. In fact, we had started advertising the Dumfesta Song Contest already for this year, but we had to shelve it. And it looks like it's not going to be postponed to later this year. It's going to be pushed back to the next Dumfesta, which will be Dumfesta 2021, God willing. Because as we all know, there's emancipation that's supposed to be in July. That's another thing we have to take a look at and see, depending on, again, how things unfold. There's independence supposed to be coming up in October, November. As to how this situation will impact independence, that's another thing that we have to look at.
School children were also heavily involved in the preservation of culture. To this end, the division is developing a plan to keep the youth involved in the art form.
We feel that there are things that we can maybe do, apart from their lessons online and their exams online and whatever. We feel that from the cultural standpoint, there are things that maybe we can still do online with school children, which is a different kind of approach, but it's an approach anyway to reach out to those school children and see if we can involve them. So we cannot disclose the plans right now, but we are looking at the situation. Because of course, like everybody else, you have to adapt, you have to adjust, you have to be creative, you have to find ways around this situation and to work within it, because all is not lost. Personally, I think this too shall pass, and Dominica is a God-fearing nation.
The Cultural Division has also taken to posting documentaries on arts and culture on its Facebook page as a form of inspiration and encouragement.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
With love, when I bag our money, cash out. Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From
Yo, check this. Flo is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up,
$10 more.
sign up,
Just switch to Flow.
get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
With Flo,
Win a bag of money.
cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flo.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flo, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flo. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flo. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flo. It only gets better with Flo.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better. A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. Government and Social Security to designate $17 million in assistance to those who lost their jobs because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Government is adding $9 million to the Social Security's $8 million to support those who have suffered the impact of the economic fallout from the pandemic. The Prime Minister says any decision taken regarding an economic stimulus should not be rushed, but ought to be based upon proper analysis. He says the nation will be informed once government has finalized the policies, programs and projects to stimulate the economy.
How you go about benefiting from this, how much each person would receive based on the person's income level, this will be articulated in a more comprehensive statement from me as the Prime Minister, hopefully before the end of next week. But we intend to roll this over immediately so that those who have lost their income, they could have some income support to provide for themselves, pay the rent, and to buy food for the families. Obviously, small businesses, we're looking at the issue of both a combination of some grants and some loans that would assist small businesses to recover and to move forward. So, but we'll be articulating, giving you more details as to how you apply, how you benefit, what are the terms and conditions of this.
And one young entrepreneur is determined to come out of the COVID-19 pandemic with a more robust business plan. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
Melva Bellet is the owner of Unique Cuisine Dominica, a culinary establishment which creates new and unique foods using local products. As a result of the restrictions put in place due to the COVID-19 outbreak in Dominica, business has virtually dried up, leaving 3 individuals unemployed and rent due on Unique Cuisine's shop.
Quite frankly, on an honest note, our business has shut completely because of COVID-19. We had recently opened our first shop at the college. We used to be a mobile business where we would deliver our unique products to customers daily. So the day-to-day handlings of our business had to shut because of social distancing. It's a one-on-one. And yes, we did take orders before, but a lot of people are at home. So when it comes to delivering on a one-on-one basis, it doesn't really benefit us that much.
Bellet, a mother of 2 young children, has had to become a home teacher in light of the closure of schools and the closure of her business. She applauds the backyard gardening initiative of the Ministry of Agriculture and believes more Dominicans, especially the youth, should come on board with this project.
There are people who have access to land, who need to start doing farming on a larger scale. If the Ministry of Agriculture could have initiatives for us, as in trainings, even if it's online trainings through Zoom or webinars, you have training for young farmers, people who are coming in with a clean slate. Basically, we don't know how it is to do certain things. Also, if we could get grants or even if it's equipment to assist us with the farms as well. That would help us boost our economy.
The Unique Cuisine proprietor plans to use this time during the lockdown to get innovative with her business and develop a more robust enterprise following the crisis. She is encouraging other entrepreneurs to do the same.
I suggest to anybody to take this time to look into your business if you're a small business owner. Figure out where your future can be in the next 6 months, in the next year, how you can improve your business or how you can suit your business into what is going on right now for the future. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm working on a website so that Unique Cuisine will have our own website which you can order from. And you can also do group ordering. I'm also looking into a mobile food group for people who need special diets. So we can cook food for you specifically to you, to your needs. Also for elderly people who need packages brought to them constantly or food delivered to them constantly. We are looking into bringing all of this into Unique Cuisine.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
With Flow, when I bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play.
top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. COVID-19 restrictions partially lifted as confirmed cases dropped to 3. A $17 million relief package for citizens who lost their jobs due to the pandemic. And Dominica maintains its curfew as hours of business expand. You may access or pass newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.